You booked the flight, you checked the seat, and now you're staring down the barrel of 14 hours in economy. Your knees are already aching just thinking about it. Your seat might not recline, and the kid behind you won't stop kicking your chair. It sounds like a slow-motion breakdown waiting to happen, but it doesn't have to be. This video isn't about flying luxury. It's about getting through long-haul economy without arriving sore, sleep-deprived, or ready to strangle your tray table. These are real, practical tips from seasoned travelers. No fluff, no filler. From what to eat and when, to how to sleep without interruption, where to put your stuff, and how to keep your legs from turning into stone, we're covering it all. Let's start with the biggest mistake most people make before they even board: the food. If you think airline meals will keep you full and satisfied on a long flight, think again. Most of them are loaded with sodium, overprocessed, and served at odd times that rarely match when your body actually feels hungry. And sometimes, you might have to wait 5 hours just to get a tray of bland, lukewarm pasta. That's why you should bring your own food. It's not just about better taste, it's about staying in control. When you pack your own snacks, you choose what you eat and when to eat it. That makes a huge difference on long flights, especially when your body is already dealing with cabin pressure, dry air, and disrupted sleep. Here's what works best. Choose foods that are light, low in sodium, and easy on your stomach. Soft dried fruits, unsalted nuts, plain crackers, peanut butter sandwiches, or a simple granola bar. These are all great options that won't leave you bloated or dehydrated. And don't count on the free snacks from the flight attendants. Pretzels, chips, and other salty packaged foods only make you more dehydrated, especially in cabin air that's drier than most deserts. If you want to feel human when you land, avoid them. Now here's an advanced tip. For flights over 12 hours, especially trans-Pacific ones, try eating only once during the entire flight. Just one small, light meal. For flights around 8 to 9 hours, it's even better if you don't eat at all. Why? Because arriving with an empty stomach actually helps your body adjust to the new time zone faster. It's a trick experienced travelers use to reduce jet lag, and it works even better if you're already used to intermittent fasting. But the key here is hydration. Drink water regularly throughout the flight. Skip the coffee, skip the soda, skip anything with caffeine or sugar. Just water. It helps your digestion, keeps your energy stable, and makes it much easier to recover after you land. So when you're packing for your flight, don't just think about chargers and neck pillows. Think about your snacks. A little planning with your food can make the difference between a miserable flight and a manageable one. Bring this one thing, and no, a basic plastic bottle doesn't cut it. Stick with me for the next minute, because this simple upgrade can change how you feel the entire flight. If you're eating less, or even skipping food completely during a 9-hour flight, you absolutely need to stay hydrated. And I know it sounds dramatic, but it's true. A long flight like that can dehydrate you faster than a full day lying under the sun. Cabin air is bone dry. It pulls moisture right out of your skin, your lips, even your eyes. If you don't stay ahead of it, you'll land feeling like you just went through a sandstorm. Dry skin, dull headache, drained energy. Not the way you want to start a trip. That's why drinking water, lots of it, is non-negotiable. Now, the common advice is to bring an empty water bottle through security and fill it up at a water fountain near your gate. That's a good start. But here's how to take it to the next level. Swap that bottle for a wide-mouth thermos. A good thermos does everything a plastic bottle can do, and then some. It holds cold water, yes, but it also handles hot drinks, which plastic bottles can't. That means you can pour tea or coffee into it without worrying about the plastic warping or leaching chemicals. It holds more, so you don't have to keep asking for tiny plastic cups from the flight attendants. And even if the crew isn't allowed to pour drinks directly into your container, the wide opening makes it easy to pour from their cup into your thermos without spilling. That's not just more convenient, it's also safer. Fewer spills on your tray table, fewer awkward reaches for refills. On long-haul flights, there's usually a hot water station in the back of the plane. If you have a thermos, that hot water isn't just for tea. It can turn into an instant soup or a quick oatmeal meal if you packed light snacks. One of the biggest mistakes people make on long-haul flights is loading everything into the overhead bin, and then realizing 3 hours in, they need half the stuff they packed up there. Pack a small personal bag that stays right under the seat in front of you. This one move can completely change how your flight feels. Now here's something to really think about. Only pack what you actually use during the flight. I get it. It's tempting to prepare for every possible scenario. You bring extra books, backup gadgets, even that hand cream you haven't touched since last summer. It makes you feel prepared, but if it's just there to ease your nerves and not your journey, it doesn't belong in that bag. What should go in? The real essentials: phone charger, snacks, toothbrush, lip balm, headphones, neck pillow, and maybe a few face wipes to help you feel human after hour 10. Pick a soft, flexible bag that fits under the seat without hogging all your legroom. If it has extra pockets, even better. That way, you're not digging through a pile of stuff like you're on a scavenger hunt every time you need an eye mask. Think of this bag as your in-flight survival kit. Everything you'll reach for, all in one place, so you can stay seated, stay organized, and stay sane. You can bring all the snacks in the world, pack the perfect survival bag, and drink your weight in water. But if you end up stuck in a middle seat that doesn't recline, next to a broken screen, none of it matters. The truth is, most economy tickets do let you pick your seat for free during online check-in. But it's first come, first served. So if you want a decent spot, you have to act fast. Check-in usually opens 24 hours before departure, but some airlines open it as early as 48. Don't assume. Check ahead. Set a reminder if you have to. As soon as it opens, log in and claim your seat. But don't just grab any random square on the seat map. Go to seatguru.com first. Type in your airline and flight number, and you'll see the exact seating layout for your plane, complete with passenger reviews. It'll warn you about tight legroom, non-reclining rows, broken screens, or even noisy spots near the galley. So, how do you actually choose the best seat? It depends on what you need most. If you crave legroom, look for an exit row or a bulkhead seat near the partition wall. Just know, these can come with trade-offs, like limited underseat storage or fixed armrests. If you plan to sleep, go for a window seat. It gives you something to lean on and keeps you from getting bumped every time someone heads to the bathroom. Prefer to stretch, stand up often, or need quick bathroom access? Aisle seat. Especially if your legs tend to cramp or you like walking the cabin during long hauls. When you're young, a window seat feels like a front row ticket to the clouds. But once you're over 60, your priorities shift. An aisle seat becomes the smarter choice, especially when you need to get up for the restroom more often. Being able to move freely without climbing over other passengers can make the flight much more manageable. Long flights are already tough. Don't make them worse by gambling on seat luck. Choose early, choose smart, and give yourself the best chance at a comfortable ride. Getting good sleep in economy class feels like trying to nap in a shopping cart, but there are ways to make it easier. First, check your seat's headrest. Many economy seats now have adjustable wings you can fold in to support your head. Some even slide up and down to match your height. Use them. They're subtle, but they keep your head from flopping around and waking you up every 10 minutes. Next, don't ignore the free pillow. No, not for your neck. Use it for lumbar support. Tuck it between your lower back and the seat. It helps straighten your spine, reduces pressure on your hips, and makes sitting for hours far more bearable. Here's a trick most travelers miss. On aisle and middle seats, there's often a hidden button under the armrest. Press it, and the armrest lifts up. That extra space makes a world of difference, especially if you're flying with someone you know. No barrier between you means you can lean or stretch a bit more freely. Now let's talk neck pillows. You've probably seen people wearing those U-shaped pillows and wondered how anyone sleeps with a giant bump behind their head. The truth? They're often worn wrong. Try flipping it around. Put the thick part under your chin. This keeps your head from falling forward and leaves the back of your head free to rest against the seat. Suddenly, that annoying neck pillow becomes a lot more useful. Still not a fan? You're not alone. That's why some brands have reimagined travel pillows entirely. Wrap-around neck pillows twist around your neck like a scarf, supporting your head from all sides without pushing it forward. Bikazi makes one with a flat back to help you keep better posture. Huzi's Infinity Pillow? Soft, scrunchy, and adjustable. You can twist, fold, or bunch it wherever you need the most support. And don't forget the eye mask. Not the flimsy airline-issued kind, the one that barely blocks light and feels like a napkin strapped to your face. Invest in a quality eye mask that contours your face, blocks out light completely, and doesn't press down on your eyes. It might be small, but it makes a massive difference when the cabin lights stay on, or your neighbor decides to read a novel at midnight. Finally, bring a lightweight travel blanket or large scarf. Yes, the plane will get cold. Cold enough to kill whatever hope you had of getting cozy. Don't rely on those scratchy polyester blankets from the airline, if they're even offered. Your own blanket means warmth, comfort, and the ability to wrap yourself up when the cabin lights go down. On long-haul flights, sleep is gold. Anything that helps you rest, even just a little deeper, a little longer, is worth planning for. Let's get one thing straight. Noise-canceling headphones aren't just for fancy flyers in business class. They're for anyone trying to survive economy with their sanity intact. Row 12 has a crying baby. Row 14 has someone snoring like a chainsaw. And the guy next to you, watching an action movie with no headphones. None of this is an exaggeration. It's just a normal Tuesday on any international flight. That's why noise-canceling headphones, or at the very least, a good pair of earplugs, are non-negotiable. Even the engine noise alone can wear you down. 10 straight hours of low-frequency rumbling can feel like you're stuck inside a giant hairdryer. I still remember my first flight as a kid. I had no idea why my head was splitting open during takeoff and landing. This piercing pain that felt like it was coming from inside my skull. No one warned me. Everyone else seemed fine, but I was miserable. Years later, I finally figured it out. It was pressure buildup in the ears, and all I needed was to block my ears. Since then, the very first thing I pack for any flight? Earplugs. If you're prone to pressure pain during takeoff or landing, even with your ears covered, just talk to the person next to you, or take a deep, slow yawn with your mouth covered, please. That simple motion can reset your ear pressure almost instantly. Now back to tech. Noise-canceling headphones do more than make movies sound better. They help your brain switch off from the chaos around you. That hum, that chatter, that crying, gone. Suddenly, the cabin feels quieter, more personal. It's not just relaxing, it helps you fall asleep. And if you don't like bulky over-ear headphones, foam earplugs are your secret weapon. They're cheap, lightweight, and shockingly effective at dulling out the harsh edges of a noisy cabin. Instead of sharp, jarring sounds, you'll just hear a soft, low whoosh. No, this isn't about being picky or pampered. It's about staying calm, staying rested, and not losing your mind before the flight's halfway over. You've got your neck pillow, your eye mask, your noise-canceling headphones, but then a flight attendant taps your shoulder mid-dream just to check your seatbelt, or wakes you up because they can't lower your tray. It's frustrating and totally avoidable. Here's how to sleep smart on a plane. First, always buckle your seatbelt over your blanket or jacket, not under it. It might feel odd, but it saves you from being woken up just so the crew can confirm you're buckled in during turbulence. They'll see it, nod, and move on. Second, if you're planning to skip the meal and just sleep through it, lower your tray table before you doze off. That way the flight attendant can quietly set your food down without waking you. Simple move, big difference. Ever stepped off a long flight and looked down to find your ankles puffed up like water balloons? You're not alone. That stiff, swollen, heavy leg feeling after sitting for over 10 hours is more than just discomfort. It's a warning sign your circulation isn't keeping up. And on a plane, where you're stuck in the same cramped position for hours, that's a real issue. But the solution is surprisingly simple: compression socks. These aren't just for older passengers or people with health conditions. They're designed to help blood flow better from your legs back to your heart, and they do it by applying just enough pressure along your lower leg to keep everything moving. You stay warmer, your legs don't balloon up, and you land feeling a whole lot more human. Trusted medical sources, such as the American Heart Association, have confirmed that compression socks are highly effective in improving circulation, reducing swelling, and lowering the risk of deep vein thrombosis, especially on long flights. And if you've ever had trouble sliding your shoes back on after a long flight, this is exactly why. That swelling? It starts slowly, but by the time you land, you're paying the price. Compression socks also make the flight more comfortable, especially when the cabin gets cold. They keep your feet warm while quietly protecting your circulation in the background. And the difference you'll feel when you arrive, still able to flex your ankles, still fitting in your shoes, is what makes them worth packing every single time. One traveler shared that after skipping compression socks on a 14-hour flight, their feet were so swollen they couldn't even get their shoes back on. Lesson learned. Don't make the same mistake. Pack the socks. The plane isn't a runway. It's a pressurized tube with recycled air, where the temperature can swing from freezing cold to stuffy and humid in under an hour. So forget the fashion statement and dress like you're settling in for a day on the couch, only smarter. The key is flexible, breathable layers. Soft joggers or loose-fitting pants give you room to stretch. A light shirt underneath a hoodie or zip-up jacket gives you options when the cabin temperature starts playing games. And if you're a frequent flyer, you already know this one. Bring a large, lightweight scarf. That scarf? It's magic. It can be a blanket, a pillow, a neck warmer, even an eye cover when you're trying to nap. One item, endless fixes. Dressing comfortably isn't just about feeling good. It helps your circulation, eases body tension, and sets you up for better sleep, especially when you're trying to rest in an upright seat for hours. The more your body can relax, the easier it is for your brain to follow. Tight jeans, stiff belts, and layered fashion pieces that dig into your ribs, leave those for the arrivals hall. On the plane, comfort wins every time. You know that moment when your legs go numb, your knees lock up, and you start questioning every life decision that led you onto this flight? That's not just discomfort. It's your body politely screaming for help. Long-haul economy flying isn't just tiring. It can be risky if you sit still for too long. Staying inactive for hours on end slows circulation and puts pressure on your joints in ways that aren't meant to last. That's why every hour or two, you need to move. Stand up, take a slow walk up the aisle, stretch near the lavatory if there's space. Yes, some people really do a few squats back there. It helps more than you think. It keeps your blood flowing, loosens up tight joints, and makes the whole flight feel a little less endless. But even if you're stuck at the window and not a fan of crawling over strangers every hour, you're not off the hook. Just flex your toes, roll your ankles, shrug your shoulders, do small shoulder circles. Anything is better than staying frozen in place. Some airlines even include in-seat stretch routines in their entertainment system. It might look like filler content, but it's genuinely useful, especially when you're 10 hours in and your posture is turning into a question mark. Stay active, even in small ways. Because if you don't, you'll feel it the moment you land after a long flight, when your legs forget how to function properly. And if you're flying with kids, it's not about making the flight perfect. It's about making it manageable, for them and for you. Start with the things they already know and love. Their favorite snack, a small blanket that smells like home, that one stuffed animal they always reach for at bedtime. When you bring familiarity into a strange environment, kids settle faster. They feel safer. And that means fewer tears, for everyone. Noise-canceling headphones made for kids can also help more than you'd expect. It cuts down the background hum and helps them focus during screen time or fall asleep with less distraction. An extra outfit doesn't take much space, but it could save you from a big mess. And if you're traveling with another adult, don't try to power through everything alone. Take turns. Share the responsibility. Even a 10-minute break to breathe or close your eyes can make you a better parent midair. No one expects a flight with kids to be easy, but with a little planning and a lot of patience, it can feel less like damage control and more like the start of an adventure. And that's it. 11 simple things that can turn a long-haul flight from survival mode into something you can actually manage. Some of these tips may seem small, but together they make a big difference. You land less tense, more rested, and a whole lot more ready to enjoy wherever you're headed. If even one of these ideas makes your next flight a little smoother, that's a win. So hit like, share it with your favorite travel buddy, and subscribe if you want more tips that actually work. Because no one remembers the flight, only how you felt when you landed. Let's make that feeling a good one.